Major Social Studies, Let Reviewer General Education, Social Science. Punta muna tayo sa naging dalawang pangunahing grupo sa Liga, La Liga Filipina. Ngayon, itong La Liga Filipina nahati ito sa dalawa. Ang Cuerpo de Compromisarios at ang Katipunan. Ngayon, ang Cuerpo de Compromisarios, ito yung mga konserbatibo. Tinaguruan silang the conservatives which pledged to continue supporting the La Solidaridad. Sabi nila, bukod nandito sila sa membership na ito, patuloy nilang susuportahan ang movement na ito. It lasted only for a few months for its members. Kaya lang ilang buwan lang ang tinagal ng movement na ito, kahit na ito ay patriotic, punong-puno ng masidhing damdamin para sa ipaglaban ang mga naaaping mga Pilipino. It lasted only for a few months for its members, though patriotic were passive and too konserbatibo. Hindi nila nais na magkaroon ng revolusyon o ng pagbaba o hindi nila kayang tahasang lumaban. Ayun din. To make the society an effective medium of the propaganda. Ang pagiging passive, ang pagiging konserbatibo ay mahina para ipagpatuloy ang isang propaganda. Pangalawa, katipunan. Ang katipunan ay isang sikreto na society. A secret society of radicals na pinamumunuan ni Bonifacio, organized on the very day Rizal was deported to Dapitan. Katipunan. Sino ang mga tao sa likod ng movement na ito o ng grupo na ito na nasasaklaw sa La Liga membership or movement, reform movement leadership? Ang mga tao ay sina Andres Bonifacio, Valentin Diaz, Teodoro Plata, Ladislao Diwa, Deodato Arellano, and a few others decided to form an association. Ito, under sila ng katipunan, pero itong mga tao na nasa katipunan ay bumuo pa ng asosasyon. Kasi ito ay isang grupo na bumuo, ang katipunan ay isang grupo na bumuo ng asosasyon na itinawag na KKK. Kataas-taasan, kataas-taasan, kagalang-galang na katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan. The men gathered around a flickering table lamp, performed the ancient blood compact, and signed their membership papers with their own blood. The Katipuneros faced many dangers, so that precautions had to be taken to keep the society secret. To maintain the secrets of their communication, Bonifacio made a system of writing that would make it difficult for the Spanish authorities to decode. Membership in the Katipunan was divided into 3 classes. Ito na nga yung pen names kanina. Ito yung La Liga Filipina, Liga Membership. Dito na tayo sa Katipunan membership divided into 3 classes. Yung first degree, tinawag na katipon, na may password na anak ng bayan, son of the people. Second degree, kawal or soldier, password gumburza. Third degree, bayani, patriot, password Rizal. Ngayon, meron silang mga pagpupulong at pagre-recruit ng mga members na ang tanging kailangan na sabihin o ang kanilang lihim na komunikasyon na hindi maaaring malaman ng mga namapang-abuso noong panahon na mga ibang na sumakop, mananakop din noong panahong ito, ay hindi nila kaya ding madali ang madekode. Ito yung mga password na kanilang ginawa, may mga proseso sila o mga pagpupulong na nangyari na tanging sila lamang ang nakakaalam. Cry of Pugadlawin. Pagkatapos ng mga asosasyon, mga grupo na ito na pupunta na tayo sa The Cry. Ito na yung Cry of Pugadlawin. Sa Cry of Pugadlawin, malaking papel ang ginampanan ng ating mga babanggitin na terms. Nandiyan si Tandang Sora, Mother of Katipunan. Tapos yung date na August 23, 1896, House of Juan Ramos, kung saan nangyari ang sigaw sa Pugadlawin ng mga iba't ibang ng grupo ng asosasyon, at yung tearing of sedulas. Cry of Pugadlawin. News about the discovery of the Katipunan spread to Manila and nearby suburbs, and Andres Bonifacio immediately called for a general meeting. Nagpatawag si Bonifacio ng pagpupulong sa miyembro nito. And Andres Bonifacio immediately called, ayun nga, nagtatawag ng pagpupulong, various wings, ang tawag, of the Katipunan gathered at the house of Juan Ramos in Pugadlawin. Ito yung August 23, 1896. Tapos si Ramos, siya yung anak ni Melchora Aquino na tinawag din na Tandang Sora na tinaguri ang Mother of Katipunan. Bonifacio asked his men whether they were willing to fight to the bitter end. Ayun ang tagore, bitter end, mapait na dulo. Ngayon, naghihikayat si Bonifacio na tinatanong niya na ang kanyang miyembro kung handa ba silang lumaban hanggang sa pinakahuli. Ngayon, alam niya na ang patutunguhan na kapag sila'y lumaban ay sadyang mapait. Yun yung kanyang tinanong sa kanyang miyembro sa asosasyon. Everyone shouted their approval. Sumigaw sila. Except for Teodoro Plata, maliban sa isa, who thought that it was too soon for a revolution. Si Teodoro Plata, siya yung hindi pumayag kasi masyado pang maaga para sa pag-aalsa sa revolusyon. Heartened by his men's response, Bonifacio then asked them to tear their cedulas. Pinunit na yung sedula to pieces as a sign of defiance and determination to rise against Spaniards. The men immediately tore up their cedulas, pinunit nila habang sumisigaw sila na mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Long live the Philippines, or the Cry of Pugadlawin. Pagkatapos ng The Cry of Pugadlawin sa ating reviewer, pumunta na sila sa the US control. Itong US control. May 1, 1898, U.S. Naval Victory in Manila Bay, Commodore George Dewey, Treaty of Paris, Free Trade Zones Act. The U.S. control. After the U.S. Naval Victory in Manila Bay, nanalo ang U.S. noong May 1, 1898 sa pamamalakad ni Commodore George Dewey. Supplied Aguinaldo kasi ito si George Dewey, nakipag-transaction din siya kay Aguinaldo with arms and urged him to rally the Filipinos against the Spanish. Tumulong itong si George Dewey na paigtingin ang mga damdamin na Pilipino na kailangan nilang lumaban sa mga Espanyol. By the time U.S. land forces had arrived, the Filipinos had taken the entire island of Luzon. Nasakop na. By the time U.S. land forces had arrived, so dumating na yung mga U.S. forces, yung mga Pilipino, nasakop na naman nila yung Pilipino ang buong kapuluan ng Luzon, yung Luzon, except for the old walled city of Manila, maliban dun sa ngayon ng ating capital ay ang Manila, which they were besieging. The Filipinos had also declared their independence and established a republic under the first democratic constitution ever known in Asia. Their dreams of independence were crushed when the Philippines were transferred from Spain to the United States. Nawala ng pag-asa na yung kanilang spirit, na-crush din yan, nadurog nung yung pinaglalaban nila na para sila ay makalaya mula dun sa doon sa Spanish, ang nangyari ay nagkaroon lang ng pagpapalitan. So from Spain, naging United States. At iyon yung tinatawag na kasunduan na tinawag na Treaty of Paris 1898, which closed the Spanish-American War. In February 1899, Aguinaldo led a new revolt, this time against US rule. Si Ugo Aguinaldo kasi siya yung unang nakipag-usap din kay George Dewey. Nagkakaroon sila ng transaksyon. Si Aguinaldo nag-isip ng panibagong revolusyon. This time, hindi na sa Spanish gaya nung una. Ito naman against US sa pamamalakad na ng mga US. Defeated on the battlefield, natalo sa labanan. The Filipinos turned to the guerrilla warfare. Nagkaroon ng guerrilla, and their subjugation became a mammoth project for the United States, one that cost far more money and took far more lives than the Spanish-American War. Yung pakikipagtunggalian daw ng mga Pilipino laban sa mga Amerikano ay mas naging magastos, mas madaming na sawing buhay kapag ikukumpara doon sa pakikipagtunggalian, pakikipagdigmaan ng mga Amerikano sa Espanya. Ganoon. Mas madaming ayun. The insurrection was effectively ended with the capture 1901 of Aguinaldo by General Frederick Funston, but the question of Philippine independence remained a burning issue. In the politics of both the United States and the islands, free trade established by an act of 1909 was expanded in 1913. When the Democrats came into power in 1913, measures were taken to effect a smooth transition to self-rule. The Philippine, yan ang gusto ng Pilipinas noon, ang kakayahan na makapamuno, na ang magiging lideret, ang mga nakatatag na mga pamumuno sa gobyerno ay hindi ang Espanya, hindi ang US, kundi mismong mga Pilipino. Ayun ang gusto nila at ninanais talaga nilang makamtan noong una rin. The Philippine Assembly already had a popularly elected lower house, and the Jones Act passed by the U.S. Congress in 1960 provided for a popularly elected upper house as well, with power to approve all appointments made by the Governor General. When the Republicans regained power in 1921, the trend toward bringing Filipinos into the government was reversed. General Leonard Wood, who was appointed, siya yung na-appoint na Governor General. However, the advent largely supplanted Filipino activities with a semi-military rule. However, the advent of the Great Depressions in the United States in the 1930s and the first aggressive moves by Japan in Asia shifted U.S. sentiment sharply toward the granting of immediate independence to the Philippines. Pagkatapos ng US control, pupunta tayo sa Commonwealth. Commonwealth times. Commonwealth. Ang ating mga ang ating mga terms na binabanggitin dito ay Hare-Hawes-Cutting Act, passed by Congress in 1932, Tidings-McDuffie Independence Act 1934, General Douglas MacArthur. Commonwealth times. The Hare-Hawes-Cutting Act, passed by Congress in 1932, provided for complete independence of the islands in 1945 after 10 years of self-government under U.S. supervision. Itong act na ito ay pinasa ng Kongreso noong 1932 na binibigyan ng kalayaan ang mga pulo. Then, noong 1945, pagkatapos ng 10 taon na pamamalakad dito ng mga taga-US, under supervision sila din ng US, nung time na yon, ng specific years, the bill had been drawn up with the aid of a commission from the Philippines, but Manuel L. Quezon, the leader of the dominant Nationalist Party, opposed it, partially because of its threat of American tariffs against Philippine products, but principally because of the provisions leaving naval bases in U.S. hands. Under his influence, the Philippine legislature rejected the bill. Ayaw ni Manuel L. Quezon din ng bill na ito kasi naniniwala siya noong panahon na iyon, tataas ang taripa na ipapataw ng mga US sa mga produkto ng Pilipinas. The Tidings-McDuffie Independent Act 1934 closely resembled the Harry-Hawes Cutting Act but struck the provisions for American bases and carried the promise of further study to correct imperfections or inequalities. May pumalit, may naisa bill din, may naisa act na kahawig din ng Harry-Hawes Act. At iyon yung Tidings-McDuffie Independence Act. The Philippine legislature ratified the bill, a constitution approved by President Roosevelt. March 1935 was accepted by the Philippine people in a plebiscite. Inaprubahan ito ng presidente din ng US at nanalo rin ito sa plebiscito. And Quezon was elected the first president. When Quezon was inaugurated on November 15, 1935, the Commonwealth of the Philippines was formally established. Quezon was re-elected in November 1941. To develop defensive forces against possible aggression, General Douglas MacArthur was brought to the islands as military advisor in 1935, and the following year he became Field Marshal of the Commonwealth Army. After ng Commonwealth times, next is the World War II and the Japanese occupation. December 8, 1941, Japan attacked without warning. MacArthur's defending forces forced to withdraw to Bataan Peninsula and Corregidor Island. Besieged U.S. Filipino crumbled April 9, 1942. Wainwright from Corregidor with a garrison of about 11,000 men. October 14, 1943, Japan's efforts to win Filipino loyalty found in the establishment of a Philippine Republic with Jose P. Laurel, former Supreme Court Justice, as president. War came suddenly to the Philippines. On December 8, 1941, inatake tayo ng Japan nang walang abiso. Yan ang sabi dito. Japanese troops invaded the islands in many places and launched a pincer drive on Manila. Yung mga forces ni MacArthur, napilitan silang umatras at pumunta sa Bataan Peninsula at Corregidor Island hanggang may dumating na mga saklolo or reinforcements. Meanwhile, guarding the entrance to Manila Bay and denying that important harbor to the Japanese, but no reinforcements were forthcoming. Walang dadating para sila saklolohan. The Japanese occupied Manila on January 2, 1942. The besieged U.S. Filipino Army, siyempre mayroong army, kasundaluhan ang Amerika at ang Pilipino sa Bataan, pero ito ay na-crumble, na-wrecked on April 9, 1942. Wainwright fought on from Corregidor with a garrison of about 11,000 men. Ito yon. He was overwhelmed on May 6, 1942. Japan's efforts to win Filipino loyalty found expression in the establishment October 14, 1943 of a Philippine Republic, with Jose P. Laurel, former Supreme Court Justice, as president. President Quezon, who had escaped kasama ang iba pang mga opisyales bago bumagsak ang bansa, ay nag-set up sila ng government in exile in Washington. When he died, August 1944, pumalit ang vice-presidente na si Sergio Osmeña na presidente. Osmeña returned to the Philippines with the first liberation forces, which surprised the Japanese by landing October 20, 1944 at Leyte, in the heart of the islands after months of U.S. airstrikes against Mindanao. The landing was followed October 23 to 26. by the greatest naval engagement in history, called variously the Battle of Leyte Gulf and the Second Battle of the Philippine Sea. A great US victory, it effectively destroyed the Japanese fleet and opened the way for the recovery of all the islands. Yung mga nasa gitna, yung mga ibang nasakop ng Japan, nagkaroon ng pagkawagi din ang US. Luzon was invaded 1945 and Manila was taken in February